Hargan Field at Loyola Blakefield for our coverage of MIAA Lacrosse as the Loyola Dons take on the St. Paul's Crusaders in their home opener. Alongside Alex MD, I'm Hayden Young, and we are both excited to see what is in store this afternoon.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful day for lacrosse, about 65 degrees here on Hargan Field. And let's take a look at this matchup more in depth. So for the Crusaders, this is their first conference matchup of the season. Overall, they're 3-3, sitting at 500. Important game for the players and St. Paul's coach Trey Whitty, who is fresh out of college. He attended UVA, and it will be his first MIAA game ever as the head coach of St. Paul's, so big day for him. Loyola, on the other hand, has already had one game under their belt in the MIAA, as they lost a hard-fought matchup against Archbishop Spalding on Tuesday, 8-7. And the Dons enter this game with a mark of 5-3.
The last time that these two teams played was actually in the 2017 MIAA quarterfinals, where Loyola won that matchup 9-4. However, they went on to lose St. Paul in the next round in the semifinals. Obviously, then from that, St. Paul's is looking for revenge, as their season was cut short by the Dons last year.
Now, Loyola lost a lot of key seniors, so it's going to be up to the younger guys to step up, like Jack Corus. He had a hat trick in that game that carried them to the playoff victory at St. Paul's. And at St. Paul's end, I think we're going to see a lot of strength on their defensive side of the field, as 6 of their 8 poles are returning from last season. They have a strong, mature team with 13 seniors that are looking to lead this team to success.
Speaking of seniors, I had the chance to speak with Andrew Florenzo, star defender for the Dons. Had an interview with him. Here's the clip.
Stick to them, talk a lot, just fly around.
And overall, what do you think the key to victory is today?
Limiting their possessions, keep it in our sticks.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, Andrew, what do you think you have to do differently this game than last to get a win today?
We have to possess the ball better, take care of it, and actually get work for good shots. Not take the first one they give us.
And on that, how do you think you're going to stop St. Paul's high-scoring offense? I mean, they just scored 17 goals last game. What do you think is the key to stopping them?
We got to stay disciplined, and we have a matchup, stick to them, talk a lot, just fly around.
And overall, what do you think the key to victory is today?
Limiting their possessions, keep it in our sticks.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, that'll do it for the pregame here on LSN. We will be right back after the break to bring you the face-off. Will St. Paul's defense prove too strong for the Dons' attack, or will Loyola find a chink in the armor and jump to an early lead? Find out right after this.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Call State Farm agent Doug Weir in Baltimore today.
Welcome back, folks, to Loyola Blakefield. Now we're just getting set for the face-off to decide this matchup. And like you said earlier, Alex, it is a beautiful day out here. I remember the last couple games we've called, I've had to put on a jacket and gloves in sub-40-degree temperatures. So this is certainly a beneficial change of weather.
Definitely a beautiful day for some lacrosse. Two historic programs going head-to-head. You couldn't ask anything better on a Friday afternoon. Yep. Can't wait to see how this one shapes out.
Yeah. Certainly, this is rated as the MIAA Game of the Week, as the players now shake hands with each other and, line up to go shake hands.
Let's take a quick look at the goaltender matchup. And cage for St. Paul's, you got 10th grader Jamie Grant. This kid has been a stud, especially at the club level, leading his Loonies team to several titles and tournaments. So he's a brick wall back there for the Crusaders. And for Loyola, senior Brighton Lorber will be between the pipes as Loyola's goalie carousel continues. We started the season seeing Kevin Ellington in goal, then Carl Price, now Brighton Lorber. So I feel like the coaching staff just wants to get a good idea of exactly who they think is most confident for them.
For the faceoff, we have junior Will Whitstack going up against Jack Stam, a junior. And Stam is going to win that faceoff and give the first possession to St. Paul's. So now they try to work it around, strive for an early goal here, really set the tone. And speaking of tone, you got to wonder if St. Paul's is going to come out super aggressive against this Loyola defense, or are they going to come out a little bit more conservative in their attack?
Some guys you want to watch out for St. Paul's is Logan Zimnock, number 6, who's got the ball.
Good deflection there from Loyola's defense. Looked like it hit off the helmet of a defender.
As I was saying, Zimnock is a senior leader, and he's got an absolute rifle of a shot. Difficult for any goaltender.
Looks like a crease violation there from St. Paul. So Loyola's going to get possession. Their first of the game. As they dish it up to their long pole. Sets a screen. Now they try to work it around back and see what they can do on their first possession of the game.
Now we got a look at the high-powered Loyola Dons offense.
Little swim move there.
Alex Bresci's got some tricks up his sleeve, and we've gotten very experienced attack. All three seniors, all three heading to play at Division I level in college.
Certainly a good matchup for this St. Paul's defense, which has 6 of their 8 long poles returning from last season. Certainly a high-powered defense. As they get a pick there, but it's contested. So Lola's going to get it right back. Looked like he wanted to take a shot there. And a poor passing effort leads to a turnover. So now St. Paul's is going to get the ball right back. And I think that's going to be something that Coach Rubior and the Dons want to stress, is that the fundamentals and making clear, concise passes and making sure you don't make any unforced errors.
And there's a swarm of defenders, crowd number 24. Spencer Hall there on the offensive end for St. Paul's. I will call a timeout to reset.
And that's a pretty early on timeout, only 3 minutes into the first quarter. And you got to wonder what he didn't like that session.
I think the offense was a little out of sync. I think you want to reset there if you're the head coach. And we've seen a stalemate on both sides so far. Neither team has registered a shot on goal. Both defenses playing well.
And like we said before, I think a lot of the main strength of St. Paul's is going to be that defense. And especially with 13 returning seniors on the team overall, it's certainly a team that it's a strong and mature team that has plenty of leadership for only the 4 juniors and 1 sophomore that are on the team.
With that being said, they've got a pretty potent offense too, with Logan Zimnock and Troy Barthelm at the X. He's 6'5", crafty attackman at X, and he can generate a lot of that offense for them.
Certainly a big body that we can even see from up here.
you know that it's him. You can spot him out. The 6'5" build. Certainly going to be a challenge for this Loyola defense.
And St. Paul's is going with a 1-4-1 right now. They've got 4 guys around the crease. One up top, that's Zimnock, who'll initiate the attack.
So he feeds it back around. Now Troy looking for a shot on goal. He dishes it back up to Cole Armit. He takes a shot, but it's wide. St. Paul's is going to maintain possession, though.
So from that possession, you can tell St. Paul likes to sweep with their point middies up top, Logan Zimnock and Cole Armit, and they want to run a pick action behind the goal for Troy.
Great play. Great check by Loyola defense. Forcing a turnover. So now Loyola is going to get the ball into the other half.
Great discipline by the Dons to talk through that pick and create the turnover there, and they've got another shot on the offensive end. Let's see how this unfolds.
And it looked like a good pick and roll set from St. Paul's offense, but even better reaction from Loyola's defense.
Right, but communication is key right there. You got to talk through those picks, and good talk will lead to good results.
And that's what Andrew Florenzo said in my pregame interview with him. He said communication is going to be the key to victory today, and certainly we're seeing an early example of that through that pick.
The whole defense has to be on the same page with one another. That goes for the 3 defenders and the goalkeeper.
So it rips a shot. That's going to be number 4, Liam Bateman, his first. And Liam has had a dominant season so far. He's had a in the previous game against Malvern Prep. He's going to be headed to Loyola University next year. So that's his first. And obviously he's hungry. He's going to be looking for more. So
Exactly.
back to
that was a high-to-high shot by Bateman there. He picked the top right corner. Hard to see, hard to track for Jamie Grant, and Loyola goes up 1-0.
So again, the same face-off pair with Whitstad and really serves his. He's had a pretty successful season in these face-offs.
Solid outlet there by Lorber, too, on the run. He hits Ryan Lancaster in full stride. And the clearing game is going to be important this afternoon as well, as that'll generate more offense for Loyola.
Check by St.
We got Chris Cabral in there now for Logan Zimnock. And he's going to play a 2-man game up top there. Number 4, Connor Slane. It was simply a breakdown in defense. A skip pass was allowed. They were lucky it was low, or else there would have been a shot right off that pass. And then Loyola did not do a good job of getting back in the hole or the spot right in front of the crease. You got to have a guy there to clean up any mess if there's a rebound. The ball bounced right in front, picked up by Cabral, and he put a nice move on and tucked it between the legs of Brighton Lorber.
From behind, we're able to get that. So now Loyola looks to repeat the success on their previous possession. Another screen action there. So now Alex Reed is looking to size up his defender. Passes it inside.
So now another transition there from St. Paul's, but a block.
It's offsides there on St. Paul's. They had one too many guys over.
So a crucial turnover there from St. Paul's. If they look to get something going and jump to an early lead, but that offsides penalty is going to give Loyola the ball right back. So Loyola is working it back around, gives it back to Alex Reed.
They're going with a double triangle look. You got a tight triangle inside with 3 guys on the outside looking to spin it around.
Reed feeds it, but a good shot deflection there from St. Paul's.
And we have a flag down, waiting the call. It looks to me like Loyola's EMO is coming out. Hayden, I didn't see exactly what that was. It looked like it was on the bench. Maybe someone said, something unsportsmanlike.
That may be it. And so Loyola is going to be a man up in this opportunity. And you got to wonder if Coach Trey Whitty is going to discipline his guys on the bench there, if in fact that was the call.
2 penalties against St. Paul. First penalty is unsportsmanlike conduct against the bench. It is a personal foul, 1 minute. Full-time penalty, also a legal procedure, 2 many men on the field. It is a technical foul, 30 seconds.
So now the calls there were unsportsmanlike on the bench for a 1 minute penalty, in addition to an illegal procedure, which is going to be another penalty, which gives Loyola 2 men up. And they capitalize on that opportunity with Liam Bateman getting his 2nd goal of the game, capitalizing on those 2 mistakes from St. Paul's that turned into a goal.
Liam Bateman let one rip from about 10 yards out. He was unchallenged. They couldn't get a defender out there quickly enough, and it's tough when you're down 2 men. But Bateman is the last guy you want to leave alone from that far out. If he gets his hands free and he has time and space, he's going to punish you.
And it looks like for Loyola, they're going to change up their faceoff guy. From Wittstadt, they're going to Will Corris. So now Will Corris is getting his first faceoff, I believe, of the season, as he battled an ankle injury.
Absolutely. He tweaked that ankle, rolled up on it as the tryout process was going on. Untimely injury. But,
so
the senior golf star has come back to play a final season with his brother.
And so a blown face-off there from Loyola allows, looks like they're going to disqualify that goal.
Outside. It was outside of the goal.
From the booth, it looked like that went in, but obviously the referees know more than we do on the pitch. So on that face-off, Will had a really good, looks like he won that pretty clearly, but then faced a check, and St. Paul's got it back. But now Loyola has their own opportunity.
Man up once again.
So they take a shot, but they maintain possession, wide right.
Loyola has 4 lefties on the field right now. This is very rare to see from them, as they usually want to balance it out more with righties.
Maybe Coach Rubier saw something in practice that they wanted to work on, a set piece with this man-up opportunity. We'll have to see, or maybe it's just dumb luck. So now Alex Reed again looking to size up his guy. As he tries to blow by him with speed, takes a shot. Good save there, but Loyola is going to maintain possession.
Looks like Jamie Grant got a big piece of that one, and he's able to steer it out of harm's way. That's his first save of the afternoon.
So another shot attempt by Loyola, unsuccessful. But again, they maintain possession. A good job of running through these balls. Liam Bateman looks poised to take another shot, switch to his other hand as he wanted to take a shot there. Again, unsuccessful.
Bateman nearly had the first quarter hat trick right there.
Yeah.
He is feeling it today.
Alex Reed again feeds it. Takes a shot, and it's a goal. That's number 22, Robbie Olson, with his first goal of the game, extending Loyola's lead now 3-1.
And that's an excellent swim move put on there by Robbie Olson. He put his defender on skates and put that one near side. And if you're the coaching staff, you got to be happy with the execution so far. Really running play sets nicely on that offensive end, putting the defense in difficult positions, and Loyola is capitalizing.
Something that they weren't really able to do in a lot of their previous games was capitalize on scoring opportunities. You know, and countless man-up opportunities and shots on goal. They really haven't been able to execute the way they've wanted to in previous games, and certainly a change of story here as they've scored 3 goals in the first quarter. So now St. Paul is taking their time to get a substitution made.
And senior Logan Zimnock's back on the field. He's up at the point, got Parker Keeney one-on-one. And I'm sure the coaches have drawn up some plays in the huddles as you got to get your best player going.
Yeah. Certainly feed your guy, go with what works. As they feed it back around to the 6'5" man. That's going to be a shot and a goal there.
That's Logan Zimnock.
From Logan Zimnock.
And just mentioned his name.
Yeah, you just said.
That's his first shot on goal and a ripper to the top right corner. He was at a tough angle, about 7 yards out. But he changed planes nicely. He caught that around hip level and moved it up above his shoulder to confuse the goalkeeper right there.
And you were exactly right about setting up Logan Zimnock for a set piece from that drop. Maybe a little Tony Romo action there.
I mean, I played with Logan in club ball a few years back, and for any goaltender like myself, it's just a nightmare stepping in there against the shots. And I can tell you from personal experience, this kid has a cannon.
So St. Paul's is going to be successful in that face-off. But they get out of their defense, and looks like they're having a little bit of trouble, but now slope things back down. So the clock winding down in the first quarter, about 1 minute, 30 seconds left. And a turnover there. So now Loyola with the ball.
Parker Keeney with the presence of mind to step in front of that pass. And that's huge as St. Paul's momentum slows down after that big goal.
So now, with about 1 minute left in the first quarter, the Dons probably looking to get 1 or 2 more on the scoreboard, extend their lead for what they've been in control really on the offensive side of the game. Really setting the tone and making St. Paul's play the way they want to play. As Robbie Olson takes it now, he's got 1 in the game already.
Olson's got a good matchup against Aiden Carey. He is not a defensive midfielder, so that should go up as a red flag for Loyola's offense, and that's something you want to attack right away.
So Alex Reed coming back around, trying to use the speed. That's a little juke move. And a screen there. Takes a shot. But a good save there from St. Paul's. And a really good effort on the deflection to give St. Paul the possession back.
That's unlucky there. Reed did not see Connor Hume on the corner. He was wide open. Hume has been quiet so far in this first quarter. The Gettysburg commit has had a huge season so far.
He's come up clutch in a lot of huge games so far. So it looks like one last opportunity for St. Paul's goes to no avail as they miss a pass there with about 1 second left. And that's going to end the first quarter as the Loyola Dons are up 3-2. Liam Bateman with 2 goals and Robbie Olson with 1. And we'll be back after the break.
Call State Farm agent Doug Weir in Baltimore at 410-282-7171 today.
And we're back at the start of the second quarter with another faceoff, and that's going to be Will Corus again. Almost he looks at maybe he's replacing Will Whitstad as the primary faceoff guy. Whitstad's had 2 in this game already, but now Will Corus taking the share.
I mean, the faceoff is a tough position, and you want to give Corus reps slowly as he returns from injury.
So now Loyola has possession, and they look to extend their lead. So they bring it up now, Alex Bresci dishing it around. And Liam Bateman running with it at the top.
They're going in open formation right now, spreading out that defense. And they're going to wait to attack probably with Bresci or Corus up top, and it's going to be Corus, it looks like, as he takes his defender all the way to the top.
He's going to try to put some speed on him, and now Liam Bateman sizing up his guy, and he's had a really successful day. 2 goals. We really almost should have been a third. Almost a fourth. Almost a third. But it's a really good save. And a really good move from St. Paul's defender, a little behind the back pass. So now Liam Bateman's going to run up the field with it. Blows past his defender, now feeds it to Alex Bresci. Alex Bresci trying to use his speed. Poised for a shot from Ryan Dunn.
Tough angle
another
shot.
Really good save.
Tough angle shot. Jamie Grant was up to the test, though, as he closed up the 5-hole.
So it looks like Loyola is trying to settle it back down. Ryan Dunn putting a spin move. Feeds it to Bateman. Bateman's wide open. A really pretty save there from St. Paul's goal. Loyola did everything right. Had Liam open, and he fed it to Hume. Just unsuccessful from really good goalkeeping play from St. Paul's.
It's easier said than done, but if you're Hume right there, maybe a fake could have gotten Jamie Grant on his heels there. It was high to high. Easier to match sticks for the goalie there, but nonetheless, you got to give all the credit to Jamie Grant. Yeah. Beautiful save right on the doorstep.
Certainly Connor Hume would like to have that one back, but still, again, score remains 3-2. So another good defensive possession there from Loyola as they managed to get the ball back to their attack in quick fashion. A really good pass there from Ryan Dunn, but another really good save from St. Paul's. That's 3 saves in a row that have been, pretty above average opportunities and shots from Loyola that have just been stopped.
Again, how about Connor Hume threading the needle with that pass? Sidewinder, got it through 3 sticks into Dunn's stick. You would have liked them to maybe change planes, give it a bounce shot. But again, Jamie Grant, he has been on fire.
The second quarter has been all Jamie Grant. First quarter, Liam Bateman Liam Bateman's name was written all over it. But not the case in the second one. So aggressive defensive play there from Loyola. As they free up their man. Try to get Troy with the shot.
Good defensive possession by Loyola. Standing tall against this potent St. Paul's offense. Since the first quarter, really not much doing there on their end.
They've had some really good defensive possessions in this second quarter, keeping St. Paul's to almost about, I think their longest offensive possession for St. Paul's was about 20 seconds. So they're really playing aggressive and not letting St. Paul's draw up an opportunity in their favor. So Loyola's doing a really good job. Maybe that's something they talked about at the end of the first, was to be more aggressive on defense.
And this is what the MIAA is going to be like all season. Each game will be hard-fought, close games, as this conference features some of the top teams in the nation. Probably, as they say, the most difficult conference to play in all of America.
Absolutely. So there's going to be a timeout called from Loyola. Coach Rubier sees something he doesn't like, so he's going to talk stuff over.
I think Loyola is getting some very good looks on the offensive end. They just have to finish and execute better. Yep. Like that last shot by Dunn. He's in a tough angle position, so maybe would have liked to see a high to low finish, maybe a bounce shot.
And that one by Hume where a perfect opportunity from great pass from Liam Bateman, just unfortunately not able to execute.
Exactly. Connor found himself wide open, just wanted to put it in right away. Just a good heads-up play there by the goalkeeper to match 6 and snuff that one out. Grant's up to 5 saves. He is a Marquette University commitment, as that lacrosse program is now up and coming.
I think we're seeing that a lot more and more, especially on the East Coast, is up-and-coming lacrosse programs. And as lacrosse is nationally gaining a lot more traction in the mainstream.
Absolutely. We're seeing some colleges unheard of in the lacrosse landscape before develop better and better programs, and we're seeing the household names like the Syracuse, Duke, North Carolina, they are being upset more, and these smaller schools are weaning away talent, very good talent pool like Grant. I mean, if he's a starter now in his sophomore year, just wait what he's going to be like in his senior year. Going to be an absolute stud at Marquette.
Absolutely. So now, end of the timeout, Loyola looks like to see if they set up a set piece when they talk things over during their timeout. Little screen there. Frees up their guy for a shot, but another really good save by Grant.
That's the freshman, Matt Dixon, pulling the trigger there. And I think it got deflected on the way in. And was just steered aside by Jamie Grant.
So Loyola is going to stick with it. Another screen. They love going back to that.
Looks like Lancaster's going to go for a dodge up top.
So now Loyola, after that shot, is going to keep possession again.
Big play by Nick Hapney. He's the senior leader of this defense. He's a captain, and he sacrificed his body there. And you got to like that shot selection from Connor Hume. He went high to low. You got to change planes to make it difficult for the goalie.
Now Alex Reed getting a chance trying to put his moves on his defender. Back up to Ryan Lancaster. And we're seeing a couple of smaller, younger guys in this offensive set with Ryan Lancaster and Matt Dixon. The shot was taken there by Alex Reed to no avail.
Not a lot of power there on that shot by Reed. I think he was may have been checked to reduce the velocity on that one. And Grant scooped that one up nicely. That's 6 saves for Jamie Grant so far in this first half.
So good aggressive play from the Loyola's attack on that possession. Forces Grant to make a poor pass and a turnover. So now Loyola is going to keep the ball.
I mean, Loyola's dominating the time of possession. They've just got to execute a little bit better. It's almost there. Just got to put the finishing touches on the possession to come away with some more goals.
And I think if they keep taking these quality shots and making these really good set-piece moves, I think they're going to find a lot of success if they just keep repeating it. Eventually, one or two will slide in.
The fact that they've taken the St. Paul's offense out of the game completely so far in the second quarter is a positive sign for Loyola.
So another timeout called by Loyola. Coach Rubio again doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to call a timeout with 5:26 left in the second quarter.
That's the last time out of the half for the Dons. I think the coaching staff has got to be content with what they see right now. But right now they're just going to put some plays in place, maybe generate a little more picks, some more movement to free open enough space to get your shooters. Yeah. Like Alex Reed, he's had several shots deflected. If he can get a clean look on goal, he's got quite the shot of his own.
And certainly freeing up guys like Liam Bateman too. You know, he's had 2 goals already in this game, and 2 very pretty goals. So if they get him open, get him going again in this second quarter, Loyola's going to find a lot of success by the end of this game.
All these high-powered shooters need is just a little bit of space, a little bit of an angle, and that's all they need to tuck one into the back of the net.
So Loyola breaks from their huddle, heads back to the field with another opportunity to extend their lead. And that's what has really been the story in this second quarter, is another opportunity for Loyola, as they have dominated time of possession. They've dominated scoring opportunities in terms of offense, but they just haven't executed.
Loyola goes back to the open formation. Now they've got Hume on the crease, 3 men on the crease.
So a shot attempt there by Liam Bateman, unsuccessful.
And just as I said, they called a pick play there in the huddle, double pick to try to free up Liam for that shot.
So now Alex Reed tries to create some space on his own, takes a shot, and it's just wide. So Grant did not really need to use his intimidating goalkeeper skills on that shot.
Yep, all he had to do was stay tight on the post and watch the shot go by him. So bad angle shot for Reed. You'd like to see Loyola with a bit of better shot selection, because they can really do some damage. If you get Bateman open from about 8 to 10 yards, he is clutch from there.
So now St. Paul's with what almost seems like a rare offensive possession in the second quarter. They really haven't had a lot of time to really possess the ball and get down to what's worked for them all this season, is their offense.
Looks like they've got a 1-4-1 going, as we got a dodge from up top.
So I think, without saying, this is certainly the longest possession that St. Paul's has had on offense this quarter. And that's really saying something, because it's only been about 30 seconds. So that just shows how aggressive and successful Loyola's defense has been in the second quarter.
Loyola has had some struggles defensively, so you got to love to see the way they've handled business so far.
So another timeout there by St. Paul's. Certainly no shortage of timeouts in this second quarter. Zola has used both of theirs. I believe that's St. Paul's last as well.
If you're St. Paul's right now, you've got to drop to play either to Troy Barthelm or Logan Zimnock. Those are your 2 lethal weapons. So what I would do is I'd get it to X, get it to Troy, have him dodge around the corner, have Zimnock set down a pick for him, Troy to go above the pick, and if he has a space to shoot, he can shoot, or he feeds Zimnock on the backside, and boom. That's for me right now, the most efficient play call as St. Paul's needs some kind of opportunity. I mean, the fact that this game is 3-2 is frankly amazing because St. Paul's has barely touched the ball this quarter.
It's certainly something to say about Loyola's offense is that they just need to execute a little bit better to extend their lead, as they've been in control for this entire second quarter. Like you said, this game should be a lot further away in score than it is.
It could be 6-7-2 for Loyola if they had capped off those good possessions they had early on. Unable to do so, we find ourselves in a tight one-goal game, and it's still there for the taking for anyone.
So now Zimnock, a failed screen attempt.
Matt, ESPN called. Called in 5 minutes.
So an opportunity for St. Paul's as they take a shot, but it's wide. They are going to maintain possession.
Now Barthelm's going to have an opportunity for the dodge. Logan and Zimnock way up high, so watch for a possible two-man game here as we see a pick.
There he goes. Looks like he wanted to take a shot there, but he just sort of spin move.
That's goalie interference. Loyola will take over possession. Big stop by Lorber as he tracked that high bounce shot nicely into the stick.
Certainly a successful defensive possession for Loyola. Not only successful, but a crucial defensive possession. As a goal there would have equalized the game, that really shouldn't be equalized, as the Dons really should be in a lot more control on the scoreboard. So now a chance here. Lola's still working it around. Not really seeing a shot that they like yet. And there's one, but it is wide left, wide and high. But they are going to maintain possession.
Look at that release from Hume, generating some bend on that ball. Tough to do with a lacrosse ball. You got to get it out of your stick just right. That's hard to see if you're a goalie. Unfortunately for Loyola, it was off target.
So certainly a change in personnel on Loyola's attack here, as Liam Bateman is not in the game. Nor is Alex Bresci, and those are the guys who have been really successful in creating opportunities this far.
You've got the underclassmen running the midfield right now up top. Interesting selection by coaching staff here, but they've got some firepower themselves.
That firepower works, as number 40, Ryan Lancaster, is able to score a goal. So he extends Loyola's lead now 4-2. And there's an example of an opportunity being fulfilled and not wasted.
Loyola goal, score by number 40, Ryan Lancaster, unassisted.
That's it right there, and the key for Loyola's offense is movement. You need movement and execution. And they swung the ball around the horn several times, found Lancaster with a mismatch, put on a nice dodge, and tucked it home. So.
And it's really rare that you find execution in the hands of a sophomore, and not in your typical guys like Liam Bateman, Ryan Dunn, Robbie Olson, these seniors that really are usually the ones who get it done, but not the case here.
I mean, Jack Corus and Lancaster do not play like they're sophomores. I mean, they have the composure of a senior themselves. I mean, they play high club level at FCA and Crabs respectively, so they have some high pressure, intense game experience that carries over well to the MIAA.
So the clock winding down, just under 1 minute to go in the first half. As Alex Bresci checks back into the game. And the senior personnel overall checks back into the game.
They're going to hold till about 20 seconds, then attack.
So Liam Bateman feeds it back around to Bresci. To Olsen. Now Bresci tries to take a shot. And there you go. You were right on with the 20 seconds. So it looks like they're really creating movement now, not giving St. Paul's any opportunity to score, to get a turnover and score. So it's just about 5 seconds left, about chance for one more shot. As Alex Brescia takes it, but another really good save there by Grant, the goalkeeper. So that's going to end the half. Dons are up 4-2. Will they be able to execute on opportunities in the second half? We'll find out after the break.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Call State Farm agent Doug Weir in Baltimore today.
Welcome back to the start of the second half here at Hargenden Field. Loyola Dons are up 4-2 against the St. Paul Crusaders. And so far, at least in that second quarter, it was all Loyola. Loyola was in control offensively and defensively, taking about, I would say, 80% of that possession was all Loyola. And that allowed Loyola to really take control, slow down St. Paul's aggressive attack, and make wet work of their defense.
Yeah, and the story in the first half for St. Paul's was Jamie Grant. I mean, what a stud. The sophomore goaltender, he's committed to Marquette University. Put on a big first half, and that's why this game is still within reach for the Crusaders.
A lot of really good scoring opportunities for Loyola were cut short by just great goalkeeping play.
If you're Loyola, you got to obviously keep Liam Bateman hot, as he's looking to dodge right as we speak.
And he's also looking for a hat trick in today's game. He's got 2 already.
I mean, you've got a plethora of weapons on the offensive end right now. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 D1 commits. And Connor Hume, who's taking his talents to Gettysburg College. So these guys are studs.
It's a shot there by Alex Bresci just wide, but a good pickup from Connor Hume. So the ball escapes away from him, as St. Paul's is going to get possession. Try their hand at running it up the field.
And immediately, I think you give the ball to Troy Barthelm behind the cage, see what he can do with it. He needs some touches. He's the big man.
He's really been shut down for a good portion of this game. Not had the opportunity.
Like in basketball, I use this analogy. If the offense isn't working, you give it to the big man down low, see what he can do in the paint, and now you got to give it to your big man on the lacrosse field and see what he can do.
Really good pick there from Loyola's defense. As now Bresci has his hand at running it up the field, using his explosive speed to his advantage. Little miscommunication there, as the long pole was involved in the offensive possession. So now Loyola taking the time to get their guys subbed in. As Ryan Lancaster checks in again. He's got 1 goal. And it was a really unsuspecting goal. We didn't really see too much of him in the first quarter, but he really stepped up to the plate. Him and the other sophomores and the underclassmen really stepped up to the plate.
Lancaster's tendency is primarily to put it on the turf. He likes to go with the bounce shots. And that was the case as he went right through the 5-hole of Jamie Grant first half. And let's see if his hot hand can continue if he gets some more touches and dodges.
Now shot opportunity here, as he just tries to run into about 4 St. Paul's defenders. That's not really the strategy that you want to apply. But he managed to get the ball back.
Good hustle play there by Chase Llewellyn, the sophomore. He's an addition to this team this season, and that's a great play to ride the defender and make the strip.
I don't think St. Paul's defense was really expecting the level of aggressiveness that Chase Llewellyn came at him with.
The teams that can ride well are generally going to be in position to win the game.
A good opportunity there from a good pass from Alex Reed. He gets it right back, takes a shot, that's a goal. Alex Reed picks up his first of the day, now extending Loyola's lead 5-2.
And that was a bit of a broken play, but a good heads-up play there by Alex Reed. He picked up the loose ball and puts it top corner.
I think he managed to do a good job of keeping his composure through all of that, as you would expect from a senior leader like Alex Reed.
Loyola really starting to control the game now, taking away St. Paul's weapons. You got to start wondering, when will St. Paul's crawl back into this one? You know they have the offense capable to do so, but how can they crack the code of Loyola's defense?
So it looks like they came out really aggressive there in that possession, but another good stop, a good clutch stop from Loyola's defense, not giving St. Paul's any time of possession to do what they want. So good show at passing there. As St. Paul's was really left unprepared. And if Ryan Dunn managed to get that pass, it would have been a goal. Did take a shot there and hits top pipe. Unsuccessful.
They went with the 10-man ride there, which means the goalie picks up a defender too, caught off guard, and Grant was nearly caught outside of his cage.
That would have been a really good goal there from Ryan Dunn if he managed to hang on to that pass, quick turnaround shoot. Just wasn't able to hang on to it. So now Liam Bateman takes it up from the top. Trying to make something happen. Get a goal for him in the third quarter. So Reed takes a shot, wide right, and an aggressive hustle play from St. Paul's gives them possession.
It looks like a bit of a questionable call. Obviously, the refs have the better angle. It looked like the Loyola attackman, Alex Reed, might have had a step there, but he'll give it to the long pole, and St. Paul's takes over.
And St. Paul's needs all the help they can get right now. As while they're only down 3 on the scoreboard, they've really been dominated in terms of possession and scoring opportunities, as well as managed to keep their control from the second quarter into the third. So now an opportunity here from St. Paul's as they try to work a piece in. Attempted swim move there. Now they give it back to the big man, like you said earlier. They're feeding the big man, but he dishes out. Tries to create some space for one of St. Paul's attackmen to maybe get freed up, get a shot on goal.
And Hoffman overcommits a bit there. Gets back for the nice check.
So a shot opportunity here. Brighton, that's going to be a goal, but Brighton Lorber really wants that back. He knows he should have had that. Just really kind of overcommitted there, but a good offensive, tough play there from St. Paul's.
And that's what we've been waiting to see all afternoon. Troy Barthelm, the big man, dodging behind the goal. Andrew Florenzo with good initial position, but Barthelm, he's so athletic for being as tall as he is, slipped right under the defense. And I think the ball sort of got checked out of his stick and then kind of fluttered over Lorber's head. Tough there.
There were about 3 defenders on Bartholomew there. But somehow he managed to get it through. So after a battle, Loyola manages to keep possession of it, as the lead is now cut down to only 2.
Good job there by Lorber to find the shorty. That's Alex Brescia who gives it a go with flow, and the offense has started right back up.
1-2 pass. Brescia using his speed takes a shot, but another great save. That's been the story so far. It's just St. Paul's a great save from their goalkeeper, Grant.
I mean, Brescia was 5 or 6 yards out there. Uncovered, that's usually one he'd bury, but Jamie Grant, what can you say about this kid? He's been just unstoppable today.
So a good check there on the long pole, forces a turnover, a contested turnover. Check after check after check. So during that, St. Paul's called a timeout. I really think that was for just maintain possession, keep the ball. St. Paul's is going to be charged with a timeout there.
So with that answer by Barthelm, maybe they got the offense started up a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see what they go with down the stretch.
It was certainly a rejuvenating goal. And in addition to that, I think a series of great stops by St. Paul's goalkeeper, Jaden Grant, has also contributed to the a little bit of a momentum shift onto St. Paul's side.
That's absolutely right, and goaltender's sometimes considered your best offense because he can make the stop and get it cleared immediately and creating transition. That's just like what we saw with Brighton down here. He found the short stick, Alex Bresci, give and go with Florenzo, and he was sprung into the open.
When he could see the whole field from his position, he's your best guy in terms of creating opportunities and facilitating a transition from defense to midfield to offense.
Yeah, and your goalie's the only guy who can really see the entire field at once. So if you have a guy with the presence of mind to get quick outlets, precise outlets right on the money, then that's going to help you out a lot offensively.
So now another St. Paul's offensive possession. As their attackman tries to put the juke moves on him, takes a shot, but a good save there from Brighton Lorber.
Lorber read that one all the way. Stick side hip shot. Pretty easy save for him there.
Oh, so now a little miscommunication there from Loyola. Almost forces a turnover, but good awareness there.
Connor Hume saves the day. Like you said, good awareness, presence of mind by him to scoop that one up before it went out of bounds.
So Hume now with the ball. Feeds it back up to Liam Bateman. Now Liam trying to get something going. A pick there from Alex Bresci.
Liam's got to get rid of it. He's double teamed.
So really good pass there from Alex Reed. Get it through about 2 or 3 guys.
Great cut by Chorus. Right when his defender turned his back, Chorus shot the gap. Nice cut and nearly got that one under the bar. But as I said earlier, movement is key for this offense, and they're doing a great job of that so far.
They're stringing a lot of really what normally would be contested passes and making it look easy. Screen there by Liam Bateman. Allows Chorus to take a shot.
Just a blistering shot from Chorus from about 10, 11 yards out. And he's trying to go far side there on Grant.
I think give him a couple more of those and they'll go in.
What's important now for Loyola is shot selection and shot placement. When you got a good goaltender, you've got to put in the tough spots, which are offside low and offside hip.
Oh, beautiful play there from Connor Hume as he received a really good pass there from Jack Chorus. Able to bounce it right over the head of the goalkeeper. Now extending the Dons lead to 3 as the score now resides 6-3.
Yep. As I've heard these guys say before, high bouncers will always go. It throws off the goalie. Hard to read. And that was a nice change up there by Connor Hume. I think Grant expected him to catch and shoot right away. And he kind of threw a change up right into the dirt over Grant's shoulder and into the roof of the net.
I think he learned from his previous shot selection in the second quarter earlier when he received a beautiful pass from Liam Bateman and shot it right at the stick of Grant. This time, learned from his mistakes, gave him a high bounce.
Exactly. As a shooter, it's key to change planes. You don't want to go high to high because it's very easy for the goalie to read. And what Hume did there is he caught it high and shot it low, which makes Grant have to change levels to make the save, and he was unable to do so.
Good athletic play there from Brighton Lorber under pressure. Able to
Loyola getting away with an offsides there as Jared King crossed the midfield line. Refs missed that one. Loyola will take it and just move on with this possession as Chase Llewellyn tries to orchestrate from behind.
So a tip pass there from St. Paul's on that pass. Leads to a stoppage in play. Loyola will maintain possession though. So Ryan Lancaster takes it. Now they're really, looks like the attack is really being a bit more conservative in this.
Yeah, I mean, don't need to force it right now if you got a three goal cushion. I think you just work it around and see what can develop from there.
So Lancaster rips another shot, but another good save. That one went, looks like right in his stick there. So not a whole lot of effort there from Grant.
Yeah, that's just popcorn right there. Grant's good up high. You got to change planes, as I've stated several times before.
So now St. Paul's has it with about 1 minute, 10 seconds left in the third quarter. St. Paul's only down 3, but I think they need to get something going to get the momentum shift back in their favor. So now a little diver, he put his body on the line. That was number 14, Andrew Milani. A really good athletic play as he just dived and really almost slid that into the goal right below the legs of Brighton Lorber.
He snuck around the goal, I think, put on a good dodge. There was no help there. You got to look for the cross crease fly there. I think Lorber was expecting some help to come from the weak side, but it did not.
So they go back to the face-off. I believe that's Will Corse again in his first appearance.
It looks like Chris Cabral jumped early on that one, so Loyola will take over.
It's quite the story with Will Corse being, both on the lacrosse team and the golf team. He's certainly a man of many sports and talents.
Exactly.
Able to come back from his ankle injury.
He's a D1 commitment to the University of Maryland for golf. Was going to play golf for school this year, but he thought, hey, why not have some fun? Yeah. Join my brother Jack on varsity in my last year in high school. That's just what he does. And he made this team as a Fogo, so that's a pretty neat story to be a highly ranked golfer and a face-off specialist.
So now Alex Bresci tries to force something. He gets double teamed, picked up. Now Liam Bateman has the opportunity, but a good defensive check there from St. Paul's. Keeps it.
And back to Chorus for a second. He had an interview with the Baltimore Sun in which he compared being a Fogo to taking golf swing, and both require high concentration levels.
And he's had a pretty successful day, winning about half of his face-offs. But just as the clock buzzed, there appeared to be a penalty.
Oh, if you're St. Paul's, that hurts. After the time expires, this might be a full-time penalty. I think there's maybe a hit to the head, late hit, something of that nature. You got to be upset if you're the St. Paul's coaching staff. You can't take that kind of penalty.
So even as that penalty may or may not be called,
That was the end of the third quarter.
Score still remains 6-4 Loyola.
St. Paul's penalty, holding. It is a technical foul. Loyola will be extra man for up to 30 seconds.
And so with that penalty call, we will be back after this break.
Call State Farm agent Doug Weir in Baltimore at 410-282-7171 today.
And we are back at the start of the fourth quarter, as the Loyola Dons are up 6-4 against St. Paul's Crusaders.
Loyola start man up. A silly penalty taken by St. Paul's. It's holding called as the third period horn sounded.
That's the exact opposite of what St. Paul's needs to start this fourth quarter. They're down 2, but not really in control of this game. Only down 2 on the scoreboard. but a lot more differential in terms of the time of possession and the level of play.
Loyola's going to rotate on a wheel here eventually and throw it backside. And they're not going to get a chance to do so as it's released.
Robbie Olsen takes a shot, but that's going to be low left, wide. But Loyola will maintain possession.
Nice switch there by St. Paul's. Good communication.
So Liam looks for a minute. He was double teamed there, but it doesn't matter. As he's able to rip a shot low left corner to pick up his third goal of the day for his hat trick, and extending Loyola's lead 3, now 7-4.
And the hat trick is complete, and a veteran move there by Bateman. He had good field awareness there. He looked off the defender, gave a pump fake on the pass, and just dashed by him with that lightning speed of his. And offside, Grant, all he could do was kick out a foot, not enough to make the save, and Loyola leads it 7-4.
Certainly the start that Loyola wanted, able to capitalize on their first offensive possession.
I wouldn't sleep on St. Paul's yet. They've got the offense equipped to make a comeback, but they're going to have to get possession of the ball first.
So if you're Loyola in this situation, are you starting to slow things down, or are you going to keep the same level of aggressive play with about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter?
I don't think you milk the clock yet. I don't think you're over aggressive either. There's no need to force any passes or any shots that might result in a turnover. You just want to play fairly conservative, get in a few shots, because it's always good to extend the lead, but you never want to turn it over at this point.
So Loyola continues to just feed the ball around. Look for, like we said, the chink in the armor of this overall a good St. Paul's defense, but Loyola has managed to make good work of them in this game, putting 7 goals on them.
That's already totaled the total from the last game against Spalding. So Loyola's offense, with a much better showing this afternoon. And that's encouraging. Each game in the MIAA got to improve, and they've done so.
Especially with such a high level of competitiveness in the MIAA, every game counts. As Ryan Lancaster takes a shot there. Good save by Grant, but Loyola is going to keep possession.
Good save. He just was able to maintain that positioning as Lancaster charged down the left alley. He thought it was going top right, but Lancaster actually stayed short side with that shot, and Grant nearly stumbled out of the way, but he's able to get the stick in the way.
Good moves there from Chase Llewellyn.
He's just a sophomore, but he's got some crafty moves of his own.
One more, and I think he would have put his guy on some ice skates.
We've seen quite a bit of that this afternoon, haven't we, Hayden?
We have.
Oh!
So beautiful shot and a beautiful goal there.
Ricochet. That hit off the defender's leg and went in.
So Loyola is now up 8-4 with 8:40 left in the last quarter. That was just a. Would you call that a lucky goal?
I would call that. I mean, it's Alex Reed's goal. He got off the shot, and defender found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I guess that feels bad. But nevertheless, Loyola will take it however it comes.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be a beautiful shot as long as it goes in.
They'll take that all day. So Will Kors back in the face-off position.
This time he is able to win it. That's a clean win. But really aggressive play from St. Paul's attack. But a great defensive maneuver. Able to facilitate that transition
Jared
to
King,
the offense.
big clear by the junior. And Loyola dominant at the face-off X, and that's been the story of the game. Loyola simply outnumbered St. Paul's possessions by a large amount. I mean, as I said, St. Paul's has the offense to get it done. They just haven't had any possessions. And
Loyola's defense has done a fantastic job of limiting St. Paul's offense time of possession.
if I were to give out MVPs for this game, it'd be Bateman on the offensive end and just the entire defensive unit.
Yeah.
Good job of sticking together, communicating, and keeping this offense off the score sheet for the most part.
For St. Paul's, though, the story has just been the goalkeeping. It's been absolutely fantastic since the start of the game. Grant's up to about, how many saves would you say he has this game?
I'd say he's up to 14.
14.
He had 10 in the first half. No, I'd say he's got 12. I think he's at 12.
An opportunity here for Bresci's. He rips a shot and it hits the pipe. So unlucky there. But even though the Dons have put 8 goals on Grant, he has done a very good job. The scoreboard would be a lot higher
yes,
for his presence. Bresci takes another rip.
Look at that.
Save.
Big offside hip save. That's a tough one from in close. Grant's very athletic and mobile in that crease.
So a timeout is going to be called by Loyola with 7:02 left in the last quarter. I don't think Coach Rubier liked the lineup that he saw there. Maybe he's just talking things over. Saying stick with what's been working as they put up 2 goals in this quarter.
I mean, that's about as good of a move and a shot as you're going to get on that possession from Jack Horse, but Jamie Grant, wow. Yeah. I mean, that was off hip, good velocity on the shot, and he was right there. Good step to the ball, what you like to see. And he just gobbled that one up from about 5 yards out.
That's also got to be pretty demoralizing for a Loyola offense that, has found some success in this game, putting up 8 goals, but really should be a lot more if not for the majestic goalkeeping.
Oh, believe me, as a goalie myself, I can tell you, if you can get in the shooters' heads, they're going to start worrying, and they're going to start missing more shots and put them more in your stick. So if you find a goalie who's on his game, it's going to be tough day for you. You just got to pick the corners and find the weakness.
So some good communication here from St. Paul's defense as they take a little different formation. It works in their favor. They're able to force a turnover.
That's going the other way. Illegal pick called on Ham Whiteford.
That's a silly penalty that really prevented what could have been a good offensive possession for St. Paul's. But Loyola is going to keep it. So now Robbie Olsen sizing up his man.
Now for Loyola, I think you start dodging down the alley, getting it to X, taking care of the ball, and just starting to just spin it around. Don't need to dodge, really. There's 6 minutes left, time to take some precious time off that clock. And they're hit with a stall warning, so Loyola's going to have the 30-second shot clock.
Certainly want to use all of that to really take as much time as you can off this clock when you're up 4. So they take a really good shot. That's Liam Bateman again, scoring his 4th goal in this game, extending Loyola's lead 9-4.
As I just mentioned a few minutes ago, you got to find, if a goalie's hot, you got to find that weakness. And great shooters like Liam Bateman know how to do that. That's his 2nd goal scored on Grant's offside hip. And as you can just see there, Hayden, Grant has trouble getting a stick over there. Just just moving the leg over there isn't enough. And Bateman takes account of that, and he just stings that offside corner.
He's certainly been exploiting that weakness, and you got to think maybe he's communicating that to his other guys too, saying, hey, shoot low left corner. He can't save that. So good communication there from Loyola's bench, yelling to their guys. So Alex Sarasoli takes a full check.
And just in the nick of time, he gets bailed out by a timeout. Big hit, but he gets up okay, so that's good.
He certainly took a big hit on that by two guys on St. Paul's defense. But he really used his speed there. He showed off his wheels. Not something that he really gets to do a lot on defensively, but he really showed off his wheels, running up the field with that long pole. Almost getting a shot on goal, if not for those two checks.
You could tell him looking for the shot, but Ham Whiteford got in his way at the last second, preventing that big hit. And good call by the coaches to call that timeout, or else there would have been trouble. Would have been a turnover.
So like you said, from that timeout, Loyola is going to maintain possession. Alex Reed is going to start with it. And it looks screen's going to be set there from Ryan Dunn, freeing up Reed. So again, Loyola being very conservative with their offensive playmaking here.
Absolutely, no need to force anything. Just keep it outside the numbers, spin it around, set up the open formation, which is simply a circle.
So some pretty good passing here, good cuts from Loyola's attack. Doing a good job of evading the St. Paul's defense. Taking all the time they can off that 4-minute and 25-second clock that is left in this matchup. So a good athletic shot there by Alex Reed, unsuccessful as Grant manages to put his whole body in front of the ball there, getting a stop.
He ate that ball up. Good job of stepping and tracking that one all the way, and he made sure there was no rebound on that one as Loyola was waiting to pick that up right away. And the quick shot came there because it was the end of the shot clock.
So a high check is going to force a penalty on St. Paul's. So that's going to be a push. So now St. Paul's is going to be a man down. And with that man down situation and this clock situation, you got to think, barring a miracle, St. Paul's might be out of this.
St. Paul's penalty, pushing is a technical foul.
I mean, I've seen stranger things before, but the way Loyola's controlling the tempo in this game, controlling the possession, it doesn't look like St. Paul's, especially a man down, is going to be taken away from them. They just got to protect the ball, and I'd say the hay's in the barn pretty much.
So that's going to be a 30-second technical foul. St. Paul's doing a good job of communicating and sliding that stick-up defense. A pump fake there from Alex Reed, showing off his stick skill.
That penalty's released. Loyola doesn't even got a shot off there. They don't need to.
Obviously in no rush, and like you said, no need to be in a rush to get a shot. All they need to do is avoid the shot clock.
If you're St. Paul's, next game, you got to find a way to get that offense sparked. You know you got the defense.
And in that same spot, yet again, Alex Reed is able to exploit Grant's goalkeeping in that low left corner and put the Dons up 6. Score is now 10-4 with just under 3 minutes.
15, Alex Reed, unassisted. Loyola 10, St. Paul's 4. Reed on the goal, unassisted.
I think this result would come as a mild surprise to most. I mean, many did not expect a dominant performance like Loyola has shown after that 8-7 defeat to Spalding, but Loyola has really answered the call well today and done exactly what they need. I mean,
but that's the MIAA. It's just a very competitive league, not the most competitive league, and you never really know what's going to happen with tensions running high between both these teams.
exactly. And any given week, any team can beat any team. It doesn't matter who you are in this conference. You can't take any game for granted.
That expression in football, any given Sunday, something can happen. Great movie, too, by the way, Al Pacino.
Good cinema. Speaking of cinema, Loyola has put on a picture-perfect display of offense today.
They really have. And if not for Grant's fantastic goalkeeping in St. Paul's net, the score would be a lot higher and a lot more disgusting. Oh, my goodness! Ladies and gentlemen, that may be on ESPN Top 10. That was a fantastic shot by Connor Hume. Just an underhand. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Wow, I almost fell in my seat.
Oh,
Connor
my
Hume.
goodness.
Underhanded, Hayden. He hits the roof of the net. Wow.
Putting on an absolute spectacle.
I mean, we know he throws underhanded passes, but underhanded shots like that, oh my.
Absolutely fantastic. Score is now 11-4 Loyola, and even in these last couple minutes, Loyola is putting on even more of a dominating performance than they have all game.
I mean, hands down, both sides of the field just dominant, defensively and offensively. It's like the perfect recipe for success today. And if you're Loyola's coaching staff, you can't be any happier with this display of offense.
They really just kept the ball out of St. Paul's hand. Even going back to the pregame interview that I did with Andrew Florenzo, he said the key was limiting the possession that St. Paul's has, excuse me. And that's exactly what they've done here, and obviously it's turned into a victory.
Now with just over a minute left, they're just going to be content to play keep away from St. Paul's.
It's good check work there, though, by St. Paul's defender. Good hustle by Loyola to get back and prevent a goal. Although I don't think that goal would do much in this situation, but, you know, you never want to stop playing.
There's one, but it's too little too late.
So maybe a little bit of padding the stats here. Score is now 11-5 with just over a minute left in regulation.
St. Paul's goal, scorer number 77, Grant Matthews. Assisted by number 24, Spencer
That was Grant Matthews on the goal for St. Paul's.
St. Paul's 5. Grant Matthews with the goal, Spencer Hall with the assist.
It's not Workhorse again in the face-off position. And he's going to win another one. So he's been very successful as of late in this quarter on
I'm not sure he's lost a single face-off.
It's been very successful.
By my count, he's over 90% today.
And maybe it's a good coaching move by Coach Rubio, pulling out Whitstat, putting in Chorus, who is in his first game of the year, mind.
And they pull Grant out of the cage. They go with gonna go with doubling the ball, so you got to get Grant out of the cage to pick up that extra man.
So clock winding down again, about 20 seconds left. St. Paul's does have it, and maybe they're just going to ride out this clock, maybe get one more shot on goal to finish the game. Unsuccessful there. As the clock goes,
Takis fires it out.
1, and that's going to be the game here, folks. Loyola, here at Hargadon, it was all Loyola this game, as they win now 11-5 against St. Paul's Crusaders.
And that's the game of the year for Loyola so far. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better performance. I mean, offensively dominant, defensively sound. They just put it all together today.
They certainly showed up in a time where it was necessary after taking the loss on Tuesday to Spalding. But anyway, folks, that is going to wrap up our presentation of Loyola Blakefield Lacrosse.
check in on the next game, and we'll see you there. Thanks.